Elaine speaks on why she stopped supporting Amber Heard. Elaine Bredhoft, Amber Heard's lawyer, goes down the first words that came out of her mouth after hearing the judgment in the defamation lawsuit. Ms. Bredhoft explained everything in an honest interview with the Today Show. She began by telling the host of the broadcast about Ms. Heard's first few remarks after hearing the decision. Ms. Bredhoft said that one of the first things she said was, "I'm so sorry to all those women out there. This is a setback for all women in and outside the courtroom." She feels the burden of that. This disclosure comes after Amber Heard received a massive setup in the defamation case with Johnny Depp, despite winning The Sun in the UK. So let's take a look at what Elaine says about why she stopped supporting Amber Heard. Elaine Bredhoft, who was representing Amber Heard in the case against Johnny Depp, has handed off the baton to David L. Axelrod of J. Ward Brown, who will lead the appeal. Given how hard Elaine publicly fought for Amber even outside of the court, there were many questions about why she stopped. So, why did she abruptly abandon Amber? Was there a reason Elaine dished Amber? Elaine was the one who submitted the notice of appeal for the case, but she resigned just as things were getting going, according to a statement to Vanity Fair. "This is the perfect time to pass the baton. I've pledged to Amber and her appellate team my complete cooperation and assistance as they move forward on a path towards success." Okay, take note of how Elaine stated her intention to moving forward. Many others assumed that she used the word pledge on purpose, and that Elaine did not leave on good terms. In response to a 2018 opt in the Washington Post in which Amber claimed to be a survivor of domestic abuse, Depp launched a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Heard. During the trial's opening arguments in April, Bredhoft stated that Heard had used cosmetics to conceal bruises during her relationship with Depp. All kinds of people saw Amber that week, and she didn't have any bruises on her face. "Well, let me show you this," said Bredhoft while holding a makeup palette. This is what Amber carried in her purse for the entire relationship with Johnny Depp. In response to the statement, Milani Cosmetics posted a TikTok video in which it claimed that the Concealant Perfect all-in-one correcting kit that Bredhoft was holding was not in circulation during Heard and Depp's relationship, which lasted from 2012 to 2016. While the video went viral and became one of the trial's first big TikTok moments, Bredhoft did not assert that the precise brand or gear used by the Aquaman star was the same. Aside from Elaine enabling Amber to lie on the stand indefinitely, a handful of additional reasons why she stopped supporting her came out. For example, she apparently knew it was a dead end well before the verdict. Bredhoft was back in the news in May, but this time it seemed to be about what she didn't say rather than what she did. A video went viral showing Depp's attorney, Camille Vasquez, questioning Heard about occasions in which she claimed Depp beat her. Vasquez frequently objected to Heard's testimony as hearsay and lacking evidence as she was questioned by her own counsel, Bredhoft. Bredhoft agreed that she had no further questions and the judge directed Heard to go sit with her attorneys. Heard, on the other hand, was pictured leaving the courtroom rather than sitting with Bredhoft. A TikTok video showing the incident has received over 5.5 million views, with uploader at @WarrenGirl143 commenting, "It was at this moment she knew she lost the case." After the high-profile trial, Heard did in fact emerge mostly vanquished. Courtgoers reportedly said that there were constant squabbles in Amber's camp. Elaine even said at one point, "If you're not happy with the way I'm representing you, you may represent yourself." Indeed, many hours after the jury began their first day of deliberation, a man named James claimed on Twitter that he spotted Elaine in tears. Responding to a tweet from someone who stated that the lawyer looks like this trial has broken her, @James from Court wrote, "Late after trial, before the jury went home, @Elaine Bredhoft left for the bathroom crying. We all felt terrible for her, and she came out, we tried to make her smile, I hope it helped." In a subsequent tweet, @James from Court stated that while he was ignorant of the reason for Bredhoft's alleged tears, he and those with him at the time noted how it must be difficult for her to deal with all of this public attention. The remark triggered an outpouring of sympathy for Depp admirers, who said Bredhoft was merely doing her job. After the tweet went viral and caused debate, @James from Court appeared on Andy Signore's YouTube show, Popcorn Planet, to elaborate on his claims of seeing Bredhoft in tears in court. It was around 5 o'clock, right before the jury decided that they were going home for the day. He told his interviewer about the alleged incident. Everyone had pretty much left, but there were a few people hanging around, just in case they had reached a verdict. He went on, "3 of us were standing outside the bathroom when we saw her basically kind of not run, but go into the bathroom very quickly crying. And then one of them was going to go in after her, but another woman entered the bathroom too." According to @James from Court, when Bredhoft departed the restroom, she had like a red nose. Maybe she had been blowing her nose or something. she seemed a little bit better, but we noticed. It was very visible, because she's cried a couple of times in court as well that we've noticed. So we all had said something about it, like we feel so bad for her. So after she came out, we were all like, hey, you're doing such a great job. It must be so hard. We understand it's not you and stuff. She smiled and she said thank you, and then went back into the courtroom. James from court speculated on why Bredhoff might have been upset in the final day of the trial, explaining that the attorney had been chastised by Depp supporters on social media as the proceedings came to a conclusion. It's also plausible that Elaine resigned because she damaged the team by blaming the jury, social media, and the judge for everything. So it was probably preferable to bring in someone else. Remember, during her press tour following the verdict, she stated that they were not allowed to tell the jury that Johnny Depp lost a libel case in the United Kingdom in 2020 against The Sun. And a judge found adequate evidence to corroborate Amber's accusations about 12 occasions. She also clearly stated that the jury was affected when she indicated that she believed the result was heavily impacted by the amount of social media participation and the cameras in the courtroom. Elaine went on to say that having 100 Johnny Depp fans in there every day made it feel more like a colosseum than a dignified courtroom. Moreover, according to her, all of those things had a negative impact, making things much more tough and challenging. During the interview, she also stated that despite being constantly warned not to read anything about the case, the jury had weekends, families, and social media. Elaine also cited the 10-day delay in the trial due to the judge's attendance at a conference. All of those things, according to her, influenced the result, so when they returned to court, journalist Ann-Gannett Levy, who was present at the proceedings, noticed that Judge Penny Escarreta was strict toward Elaine following her defamatory comments on the jury. She stated Judge A is always no nonsense. Today she was even more so, and seemed like she was having none of what E.B. was saying. I asked E.B. afterward whether she would come outside since our camera was out there, and whether she had anything to say. She politely said no. Another possible reason why Elaine quit helping Amber is that she was afraid she would not be compensated. Amber's legal bills were already covered by insurance providers, and she was insured by New York Marine from July 18, 2018 to July 18, 2019. Amber was covered by a $1 million insurance policy throughout that time period, and the insurance company agreed to give free defense counsel to Amber in connection with Johnny's defamation claim. Because there were already financial concerns, some people suggested that Elaine just quit. We are still waiting to see how the new staff handles the appeal, so what are your thoughts on the points raised in this video? The trial is complete and the judgment has been made, but there appears to be much more to be discovered.